What is going on there, guys? It's Pone, and I'm back with another episode of Battlefield 1. Today's going to be a brief little video talking about the teaser trailer we recently got. No doubt you've seen the new melee weapon, heard about the new Behemoth, and of course, the new Elite class. And I've got some theories I want to share with you, and as I normally do, I let it digest, I give it a day or two, and I go about giving you everything. Not just a breakdown of what we see in the trailer, but how I think it's going to change the Battlefield experience, and give you some pretty solid theories. And I have a couple ideas about what this Elite class may be. And I believe Westy has in fact confirmed with some of the developers and some of the community managers that this is in fact an Elite class. And you're getting a sneak peek right now. We got a slow turnaround. Look at that, you runway model, you. You can see the new melee weapon. Short clip, right? But you can get a lot of information in that small little preview right there. Now, if you did notice in the background, there's a big old tank creeping along. At first, I just thought it was your traditional trained Behemoth. And then I realized, oh, it's got tracks and a tail. Holy shit, that's a tank. And her name is the Char 2. It's a real thing, guys, honestly. So this monster tank was developed. It was basically a mobile fort. Very slow moving because it weighed around 75 tons, but it honestly earns the title of Behemoth. And you're going to see in relations to the average human how big this thing is. And it was monstrous. It was ridiculously huge. And naturally, it had a lot of firepower on sides, on the back, up top, revolving turrets, field gun. Oh my god, this thing is going to tear things up. And it's not got a leash on it. It's not stuck on the tracks like the train. It gets free reign to go across the map, which is dangerous because I feel this will honestly be one of the hardest to kill behemoths the game has had so far, because it's going to be very hard to get close to this with all of the gun options available to it. And you have another image on your screen right now. You can kind of see the guts of the machine. You can see where the driver is. You can see up top as well. It's a very good diagram of how this thing works, and you're going to notice that it's got a few different areas. It's got the exhaust up top, and I feel like because this is a tank, the exhaust is going to be very vulnerable for fire with grenades and rocket guns. It's one of the things that we can focus on, and it's a pretty large area that you can attack, and you can do some pretty heavy damage. Of course, you're going to be able to disable the turrets. All of these things we should expect to see out of this. So focus those weak spots and make sure this thing can't hurt you, because it's going to. It's going to completely unravel your team and devour other tanks. Other tanks are just going to cower in fear. So for the fun stuff, what is this new Elite class? This mystery before us? Leave your own comments and predictions down below. It's really fun to tinker with this concept, this idea, and I have 3 of them. Yes, 3 ideas towards what I think this new Elite class is going to be, and they shall not pass. But let's start with the facts first. Number 1, he's got a big old revolver on his hip. That's important, and I'm going to talk about why shortly. Number 2, it looks like he has about 6 stick grenades wrapping around from his hip to his back. That's a lot of explosives for one guy. Number 3, he's got an interesting set of armor. He's got the goggles, obviously, to reduce shrapnel, damage to the face, and of course, what looks to be light armor on the chest. This combination has led many to speculate that this will be an explosive-resistant sort of Elite class. Now, it makes sense to me, honestly. If you think about it, the Flame Trooper is immune to gas and fire. They kind of have their own resistances. Sentry, immune to basic infantry. Bullets. Now, to me, I think it's just a matter of time until we get one that is a bit more resistant to explosives. Of course, not immune to them, but can take a few extra licks, if you will, from grenades and maybe even some sort of dynamite. But this is just, of course, theory. And if true, it would tie into one of my 3 potential classes that this guy may be, and that is a demolitions expert. A lot of people are getting behind this because with the introduction of this new Behemoth, you're probably going to want to have to tie in this new Elite class with it. And an anti-tank Elite class? I'm kind of hard just thinking about it. This is exciting news. So, you know it's got 6 grenades on his hip, right? He's ready to blow up and tear up trenches, but maybe he's got something else hiding. Maybe he can have mortars or something along the lines of that to be able to do some damage to some of the armor out there. It's kind of exciting stuff, and what we do know is he does have that revolver. This leads me to believe that he may actually have some sort of primary explosive weapon, and I don't know what it would be. Maybe you guys that understand World War I a little bit better than I do and the weaponry of the time may be able to throw in some guesses for what this could be, but I feel like it's possible, because if you think about it, some of the more spray and pray Elite classes out there, like the Sentry and the Flame Trooper, they don't have secondary weapons at all. And the only one that does is the Tank Hunter. And his isn't just your average revolver. This is a big-ass, double-barrel sawed-off shotgun. And that is really, really dangerous. But it's to compensate for the slow rate of fire primary that he has. Which means, I feel like, if there is a primary for this kit, it will in fact be a slow rate of fire, maybe an explosive, a grenade launcher of some sort. And I feel like this ties into it very well. My second idea, and probably the most likely of the three, is just having a badass cowboy, a one-shot revolver. Just only having that revolver, going into the trenches and being an infantry beast. This is what I feel is to be expected from this guy. Honestly, I don't know. A lot of people were saying that this thing looks so big, it could just be the flare gun, but I'm not buying it. I honestly think he's just got a badass revolver. And talking in the live stream last night, I had a friend that knew quite a lot about the weaponry of the time. And even though this was a little bit before World War I, there was a gun called the Galant. And this one was adopted by the Russian Navy, I think, in the 1870s. And believe it or not, it was built by a Frenchman. It was used in France. It was kind of directed towards civilian afterwards, but it was a big-ass revolver. And it fits the image description from what we can see. I mean, obviously there's flame, there's heat distortion. It's kind of hard to tell exactly what the gun is, but it's believable for me. And I'm kind of excited to see if it is in fact that gun or if it's a revolver at all, but that's my theory. Last on the list is a thorough melee character. He's got this brand new melee weapon. He may be able to just run through the trenches, raid them, and beat the hell out of people. Get in there. Maybe he has enhanced momentum. Maybe he runs a little faster. He's in light armor after all, and if he's not encumbered by guns and weight and ammo, he may be able to move faster than the average soldier. Maybe even have a sprint ability, much like the bayonet, but he can swing throughout it and do some sort of badass flash stuff. I don't know. My mind's going everywhere. Either way, those are my ideas. Feel free to share your own in the comment section below and even vote. What do you think is more realistic? Do you think number 1, 2, or 3 is going to be in the game? Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe if you're new here. Be sure to leave a like on the video as it helps out a lot, and I'll catch you with another video tomorrow.